What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I wanna talk about a statement that Allen Iverson, or a warning that Allen Iverson gave to LeBron James years ago, early in LeBron James' career, right? And this all goes to like how the media will build players up and then they will tear them down. And so now I think two ways I think that a player can handle this, or people can handle it in general. Like, well, let's just say players can handle this. Number one, I think the less that you play of the fame game, I think the better. Like if you keep a low profile and you stay out of the media spotlight, which I think for somebody like LeBron James, a high profile athlete like that, it's hard to do because you know you have to give interviews and stuff like that. And people, your quotes after the game, people going to want to know what you have to think and say about different situations, right? So it's going to be hard. But when you think about like how like take for instance somebody like what's a guy named Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, like they used to give these cookie cutter type responses. Now they still got tore up in the media, but they never really gave you any ammunition themselves purposely. So you can take that route, right? And it's hard. Like I said, if once you get in that game, it's almost impossible to not be in a position where the media can try to like bring you down or put you in a certain light. And the only other way I can say stand out of this is, or you can defend yourself against something like this, is you have to stay connected to your own community and your own fan base. And that's where Allen Iverson, I thought Allen Iverson was a perfect he was a perfect messenger for this, to tell LeBron something like this, because Allen Iverson has been somebody who's always been connected to his fan base. So no matter what type of narrative the media put out there, you have people who were diehard Allen Iverson fans and was always going to push back in Allen Iverson's behalf, because Allen Iverson was the kind of person who was never turned his back on his fan base or his community. So Allen Iverson always was going to have that type of support. Now, a lot of guys who go mainstream don't really do that. Like once they they establish relationships with big business, with big sponsors and stuff like that, they cut off their community. Then when big business and big sponsors or somebody want to go at them, then they don't have that fan base or that community to run back to, which I think our athletes need that, right? And so this topic came up, and I'm gonna play. I'm reacting to Marcellus Wiley reacting to Rich Paul and Max Kellerman. So it's a lot going on here, but listen to what they had to say about this situation.
Let's go deep. Let's get spicy.
I think it's just click. I don't think people are doing it for clickbait with Wemby. I think that we have, and I've mentioned this before, but South Park has a whole episode on this, how in popular culture, and this is especially true in sports, we like to build people up as these perfect heroes. Yes. And then once they're built up as high as they can go, we like to find their flaws to try to tear them down. And we enjoy both those things. But ultimately, what people really want to see is once they're torn down, can they rise from the ashes, right?
All right, so let me I kind of want to push, like, they don't really, like, they will build you up and then tear you down. That's coming for everybody that's in the public, whether you're a professional basketball player or you see that with entertainers and actors. Like, the media will build you up, and then as soon as something happened, they'll come back and they'll try to tear you down. Now, if you survive that and you're able to build yourself back up, sometimes people don't, and they don't care, because there'll be somebody else for them to build up and somebody else for them to tear down. So that's where I push back on Max Kellerman.
Right. Now, my only question is that conscious, subconscious, the way it goes? Like, where does that come from? What is driving that energy that is the same energy that we see constantly with every player, including, yes, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had a phase where they were tearing him down. They had a phase when they were like, yo. I mean, he kind of came in the league and they were like, oh, he's a good player, really good player, great, but, you know. Oh, but he had a lot of but statements early, probably more than LeBron. But then it flipped. When it got to where, whoa, he got Pippen, he got Phil Jackson.
Yeah, so, all right. I just think it's part of the game. And like I said, in order not to be a part of the game, it's like you don't play at all. But it comes with the territory. Every athlete, every entertainer, is in a position where once you're a public figure like that, that the public can tear you down. I don't care if you're in politics. I don't care if you're an actor or entertainer. You can be, your character can be attacked. Your image and your legacy can be destroyed because you're a public figure. Now, when you talk about people who are able to accumulate wealth without the fame part, then it's harder to, it's harder to find the chinks in their armor. But and it just so happens that a lot of the things that minority communities go for, that minorities go after, are like sports and entertainment. And so in those industries, you are vulnerable to having your legacy attacked, your image attacked. That's why I said, once you start playing that fame game, you have to stay connected to your base, because your base, your people gonna put up, people put up a fight about Allen Iverson. Like Allen Iverson is somebody who always stay connected to the community, right? And a lot of athletes and entertainers alienate themselves from the community because they think that once they get there, they don't need them no more until something happened and then somebody's trying to bring you down. But let me go to what Allen Iverson said in this interview, and I'm gonna skip way ahead to what Allen Iverson said. This is about the 9:30 mark. Oh, here we go.
Like, this is it. Listen to this.
To do whatever it takes for them to be successful. I always let LeBron know off top, dog, they love you right now. They love you right now. But please believe me, the first incident, the first time something happened, they are waiting, man. They're waiting, man. They're waiting, man. Just like, I mean, I hate to bring it up, but the other situation with Kobe.
With Kobe Bryant.
Yes. Well, all this time, he's the number one man, the perfect man to everybody and everybody's heart. He's the number one man.
You do know that people kind of blamed you in this sense because you were the one that was seen on ESPN, and you said, "Well, that's Kobe. I mean, he's pure as gold. He must have done something."
Man, must have did nothing.
Wait.
Stephen A. Smith knows this game too, right? He knows, and that's why Stephen A. Smith is the kind of person, like, he makes sure he bend over backwards to make sure that he don't piss certain people in the industry off. He bends over backwards, and Stephen A. Smith will even go to the extent where, like I said, he'll go so far left, man, to throw people under the bus. But I don't know. I just think that everybody day come when you play that fame game. And somebody like Allen Iverson, I thought, was the perfect person to warn, because Allen Iverson been through it all. They tried to, even before Allen Iverson became a basketball player at Georgetown, he had legal issues and he had the media paint him in a certain light. They had a fight or a brawl or something at a bowling alley, and they tried to throw Allen Iverson in the mix and say that he was a part of it and all that stuff. So he learned early on, man, how the media can really be destructive and the media can be used to bring you down. And Allen Iverson survived all that, went on to Georgetown, had a great career there, then went on to the NBA from there throughout the whole time. And even remember, Allen Iverson, the community, man, was outraged when they arrested Allen Iverson in Virginia for that brawl that happened at that bowling alley. They was outraged. Allen Iverson always stayed connected to the community, and the community always stayed connected to him. And that's why Allen, in my opinion, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, but Allen Iverson is my favorite basketball player of all time.
A minute before we get into that angle, I think what Allen Iverson is saying is like, wow, this dude was perfect, and we know no one is perfect, but his image was. And then something goes down, and before we know verdict, before we know real story from fake and all that stuff, look how they flipped on him. That's what he's trying to say. Now, then that evolved to the next level, the next angle, which is like with Iverson. You basically was like, yo, who is perfect? I don't know what happened.
And see, that's a good point, right? Nobody's perfect. So you can't play that fame game thinking that you're going to be perfect. Like, you know, some people gamble, some people like women, some people like to drink, and or they might have another vice that can be used against you. So nobody's perfect. Like I said, the only way to beat it is to not even play that game at all. You know, and so if you want to be rich, then you could find a way to get rich without being an athlete or entertainer or somebody that's going to be in a public eye. You know, if you wanted to be like somebody that's behind the cameras or something like that, you know, as a famous, well, not famous, but as a great producer or editor or film editor, something, you know, you got a lot of people out here that have jobs that make good money, really good money, and they don't have to put up with this. You know, they fly under the radar. But athletes, entertainers, and people, you know, politicians, anybody that's in that public spotlight, you know, they can go through this. And Allen Iverson tried to warn LeBron James about it. I think once you are a public figure, man, I think you got to stay connected to the community. Remember, Marion Barry, I think, is a great example, right? Marion Barry had, you know, when he got caught up in that drug scandal in Washington, D.C., the community they loved him so much that even after he got caught up in that, they reelected him, you know, knowing that he had a substance abuse problem, but he was just so good for the community that, you know, they thought that, you know, they stuck by him. And that's what you got to do. You have to stay connected to your community, and your community will help to bring you back up. When people outside of your community or somebody just try to bring you down like this, your community will support you and bring you up, because the community knows the truth. They know you. If you have a genuine heart, then they're going to do that. They're going to bring you, you know, they're going to bring you back. And I think Marion Barry was also another great example of that. People criticized the people at DC for like, why y'all, you know this guy, you know, he's a, you know, they was calling him a criminal and said he had a drug habit and all this stuff. But he was really good for the community, and the people of DC voted him back in. So LeBron James, man, and other athletes, man, great athletes, just need this. They can't cut their base off. You can't cut your base off. And so that's my main point. If you're going to play that fame game, man, you got to stay connected to the community. That's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.